All right, so mission statement. Our mission here is to create the greatest group of professional traders compiled in the world. We work tirelessly every day to improve our individual selves and push each other to get the most out of one another. With each individual's personal accountability, 100% effort, and consistent actions controlling, uh, towards focusing on our controllables. I changed the wording around a little bit. We will each reach our full potential, individually and as a family. I personally, Stefanos, pledge to be the best version of myself today, to do whatever it takes to be the greatest version, the greatest trader that I can be, and to be the most self-disciplined person that I know. I will do the things I have to do today, regardless of how I feel, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. I will control what I can control and not worry about anything else. So a couple reminders for you. We do not overtrade. We do not over risk. You don't need to catch a trade today. You want to catch a trade today, and if it presents it, you're going to take it. But if it doesn't present anything, you don't need to take anything. 1 to 2 trade ideas per day. 3 if you get that perfect setup. Capital preservation over capital appreciation, aka focus on your risk management. Keep your trading plan in front of you. Also, we make smart decisions and we are system oriented, not how much money can I make on any given trade. All right, so looking at the economic calendar now for this morning, what we ended up getting for PPI input and output over here for Great Britain, it came out negative 1.1, right? So it was not as good as they were expecting over here. Negative 0.8% as well as what they were expecting, but that's exactly what they got over here for the output. But looking at German IFO business climate, that's obviously a big deal. They got what was expected over here. And then later on today, the main focus is probably going to be Bank of Canada. That could rattle the markets, especially like USD CAD and some of those CAD pairs. But for us, as far as anything, like if there's a big surprise, maybe if they raise by 75 basis points, I think that would be a big surprise, and that could definitely rattle the markets. But if it is on point with that, you could get a few moves, but that's about it. But you have a bank holiday over in Australia, so that could affect gold. Maybe you don't get as many moves as you would expect, and then obviously you get the Chinese holiday. I think it's something about their New Year, right? On the Spring Festival. They just had their New Year, I believe. But looking at the charts here, GJ over here still kind of we did end up retracing below 160 over here, so we're still holding that as a resistance. If you look at the weekly is now flipped, right? We started off the week with a bottom wick, passing the eye of the previous candle. We're now starting to reject this entire area, this whole region, somewhere around here. We keep holding a resistance, right? So this was a very strong bullish candle that closed last week, coming right back up from 156 over here. That was off the heels of Japan's and the Bank of Japan's decision with not normalizing monetary policy just yet, but that was what that was from. And now we're starting to get that continuation over here of bears. Not that that's a trend line, but right now we are still continuing that bearish trend over here and potentially continuing right back down. I could see that happening as well. But looking at the daily now, daily's holding that resistance, right? We're starting to come down. Yesterday, we ended up closing a strong daily candle, strong bearish candle right in this area. And now this current candle is already creating that top wick and passing the low of the previous candle. Now, possibly continuing down, we do have this area right here, that previous support that we've held multiple times. If you want to look at it this way, we faked it out twice, right? So now, are we coming right back down to visit that area? It looks most likely, right? I'm just going to get at a US 30 right now. I'll point that trade out to you guys in a second too. But looking at the 4-hour now, the last 4-hour gave us a beautiful lower high, right? You got that strong rejection off that resistance, 161,500. We push down below this support. We get this pullback, but if you take a look at these candles, they're like weak bullish candles, right? So at any point, price could give us that lower high to continue down. And it looks like what we did was reject this area right here, right? So we got that lower high right here, got a strong bearish candle close, right? So now this candle it's almost like a doji. We're kind of reacting to this support right here, right? So my question is, do we end up getting some kind of a pullback into this previous support and then continue right back down? Most likely that could possibly happen. We'll see. But right now, at the same time, we see that as our main bias because we are bearish on the higher time frames, and we are creating lower highs right over here. What you could do is draw this trend line right here, which is what we've been respecting. We're actually going to we could keep that red, and because I kind of like that, respecting the bearish trend. But looking over here now, price has been creating higher lows as well. You could actually make that green if you want, but we've been creating higher lows and higher highs since coming up from this double bottom, this whole area over here, right? So this could have just been a pullback coming into this area and then possibly continuing right back up. Look, see how this candle's flipping over here? This could be trapping a lot of people as far as people being in sells in the lower time frames. Looking at the 1 hour, now we can adjust this. That's your most recent resistance, and that's that previous support that we were just talking about, right? So right now we ended up getting a strong, let me see if we adjust this. Now that could stay right there. We got to see if we're going to hold this resistance. This is that key area that we're always talking about over here. So we got to see if we're going to end up getting this area holding as a resistance over here, right? Are we going to respect the high of that candle? It doesn't look like it so far. We did hold some kind of a support here on the lower time frames with that bullish candle, and then we closed below it. Now we may close above it. So is this a fake out? Are we respecting this trend line over here and possibly getting a deeper pullback into here to continue down? Looking at the 30-minute now what I could do is just get rid of that. But you could see that previous support over here. That could be a fake out. So price comes back above this area over here, right? Could you guys see a potential buy situation? It'll be risky because you're going against the trend, but at the same time, you're also understanding how every time we tap into this area, we get a nice push. Now that's just a trend line. I don't want you guys to like marry it, right? You got a huge push over here, right? But at the same time, you got to understand that could be happening. But what you need to see is a break above this area, holding support, and then you could potentially bring this up with a clean move to the left. Just understand that you gotta see this support being held, at least with a bottom wick rejection. Does that make sense? Awesome. Now, again, we're not going to marry that bias, are we? We're going to look for what could possibly happen if we just created a low down here, and now price just wants to come back up and tap into that area and possibly consolidate a little bit before price continues right back down. All right, so let's look to the left at our areas over here. Our next support is going to be somewhere right in here. Right, you got a clean move once you break that support, continuing down. But Charlie, what's one thing that we got to check over here to see if we could take that?
The higher time frames.
Yeah, absolutely. Check the higher time frames. But what else? What do we need to check over here if we're going to take sales below here?
Oh, we need a break and a retest.
Yes, but like, what do we need to check in here? 159,600 to 159,300.
Oh, I'll check these sides of the range.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
about 27 to 30 pips. That's enough for
yeah,
us on GJ. Right?
sure.
You're typically looking for like 25 pips on GJ, right? So that would be enough for us to take something. But at the same time, if you guys are a little bit more experienced, like you have that lower high here on the 15-minute, could you end up capitalizing on anything in this area? It is a big enough range. We'll say from here to here, it's about 35 pips. But at the same time, do you want to take anything in this area? I think for me, it really depends on the price action over here. If we're like holding a resistance here, then you get like some bearish 30-minute candle close over here. You could potentially take this down. We'll see to retest the low. Right, so we'll see what we end up getting in this area, and if that's worth taking. It is Wednesday, so it does have potential for you to take something. So we'll see what we end up getting. But yeah, you got that. move up here, or we could come right back down as well. But looking at the at gold now, go back to the monthly. Monthly, as you guys can start to see now from yesterday, we're starting to retrace. Remember yesterday, this monthly candle was pretty much at its high that we created for the week or for the month already, right? Coming into that area, we're starting to retrace a little bit over towards like 1920. So we're sitting right around 1923, 900, pretty much 1924. And you're starting to see some kind of a retracement on this current candle. And as you can see, the previous candles over here, strong bullish candle, much weaker. This candle passed the high. Now it's starting to flip bearish. That doesn't mean that we're gonna flip bearish right now, but at the same time, it gives you a hint that okay, we could be exhausting in this area. Mark off this area right there. That's our next resistance here on the weekly. Let's see. Yeah, you get all these levels over here. We're gonna see what we got when it comes to marking off zones. Yeah, so here in the weekly, obviously we've been creating those higher lows. So that was our most recent high that we created. Now we're holding as support. This was our most recent higher low as well. Second to most recent higher low. And right now we just created that high. We didn't have enough juice to mirror this move coming right into here. All right, that was pretty much our next target. And then this is our next target once we break that area. Right? So right now we just created that high, kind of reacting to, let's say, this area over here. So far we already know that we got some kind of a resistance right in that area that we just keep rejecting. Again, not enough juice to break above that area. But are we going to hold this support and continue to range and then continue up? Or is gold a little overextended here? And are we going to get some kind of a retracement? Is there going to be a possibility for you guys to possibly take a sell into this range or even below here, which will be even safer? Looking at the 4 hour. So the 4 hour, this whole area is pretty much like, right in here. That's the area that gold likes to hold support. We kind of faked it out over here. Now we're coming right back into it, right? But if we're looking more at most recent support and resistance, we're going to mark this off right here. Because again, these candles broke right through that area, right? So now what you're looking at is, especially if all this kind of confuses you, and I can see why it would, what you have is this high, which is most important, right? We broke down from that high with a strong bearish candle. We retest that area right over here with that wick right here, right? Now this candle gave us like a impulsive volume push, right? Created that top wick, passed below the previous candle, and now we're continuing right back down into that area. So what I'm looking at here is we have this wick that we could possibly be filling at some point. But we got to see on the lower time frames. But yeah, I'm just marking off that support for now, and we'll see what we got on the 1 hour. Yeah, on the 1 hour, your most recent support is right here, right? You have your most recent resistance is right in that area where we've held support. It came up, give us like a little fake out of this area, continue right back down, close below that level, right? Retested it perfectly, and now this candle is just kind of pushing down and continuing down over here. Now the next level is probably going to be right down here that you could target along with this wick fill. So let's see what the 30-minute looks like. 30-minute looks good, right? Holding a nice resistance. Just gonna move that high up there. Just been creating these lower highs over here, right? Now we were creating some higher lows as well. See how we're kind of holding that support of the trend line? Again, I don't want you guys mirroring trend lines and being like, you know what, even though we're bearish right here, I think we're going to bounce off and just take a buy. Like that just doesn't make any sense. Your main confluence is support and resistance. So right now we are holding a resistance over here. I just want you to be careful wait for closes because this 30 minutes going to close in the next 9 minutes. 15-minute right here, right? We already see that we're consolidating, right? We keep holding that as a support, right? So that gives you a hint that price could be bouncing off this area, kind of get a consolidation like this, and then bounce, right? That could happen. I'm not saying it will happen, but it could. But as far as like sells going, what we've been all morning coming down from this area, kind of getting that double top and lower high, price could be continuing right back down, giving us lower highs, lower lows, right? We just got this, what looks like that bounce off that support, that low that we created, hard bounce, and then this candle completely corrected it, right? With a nice wick to fill. Now, that doesn't mean take this impulse of entry right now because we're creating that top wick and continuing down, because we could very well bounce off this area again. What we need is a close below this area. And that would be valid for you guys to take. Clean move to the left. Now, you got to measure this. You only got about 22, 23 pips in there. Now, you do have this wick fill as well coming all the way down. Clean moves to the left. But we've had heavy bounces off this area over here. So just be careful of that. Again, we don't have that much data coming out today. What we do have is what's it called? GDP tomorrow, and then we got PCE on Friday, which is going to be the main movers of gold. So right now, that could be like gold could be pricing that in, the dollar could be pricing that in, US 30, all the stock markets that could be pricing those numbers in. But right now, keep in mind that the data is going to be coming out tomorrow, and this could be like a consolidation day in this area. You don't have much volume pushing this, so we'll see. Let's see the higher time frames again. Yeah, higher time frames are coming down, but this is why we check these higher time frames again. This is a very strong and hard area to take sells in, to take any kind of trades into. Get what I'm saying? Like you see all these wicks coming into that area, you could get rejected at any time. So below that area, once you start clearing out, these will be safer sells. These will be safer sells, much safer. Get what I'm saying? Cool. All right. Any questions on gold right now? No? Okay. Again, keep in mind that we are still in this bullish trend, right? And we could just be coming into this area, holding a support, and then, giving us a new higher high. So just keep that in mind. All right. Looking at US 30 now. Looking at the monthly. Again, this monthly is kind of like a doji. It's been all over the place this month, but basically bouncing between 35,000 and 33,000, just kind of sitting in that area. Looking at the weekly, now I'm starting to get more interesting. The weekly last week, we got a strong bearish close, right? Coming right back down from this area. Previous support as well, but we got a strong rejection as soon as we retested that high. Move that. As soon as we retested that high over here, we ended up rejecting just like we did in the past over here. Hard rejection, price came down. Hard rejection, price came down. But now what you're starting to see is the current weekly candle, right? Again, we closed strong bearish with a wick to fill. Halfway through the candle right now, what we're doing is potentially, we're still holding a support because that candle is bullish, right? But we're potentially creating a top wick, maybe flipping bearish and continuing right back down to this support over here. Now, that all depends on GDP. It all depends on, what's it called? PCE. So if we get any kind of positive numbers over there, this thing could hold support and continue up. But if it's the other way around, I could see this thing coming right back down to this support. But right now, we're just pretty much ranging in this area. Looking at the daily is what I was pointing out to you guys this morning with the trade that I took this morning. So that's that support over here, right? We came up, retested this area. Again, look at the last time we tapped into that same exact area. Hard rejection. It's not going to look exactly the same. It's not going to look exactly the same, but again, you get that hard rejection from the exact same price point. That tells you that there's a lot of banks taking profit in that area. So now what we're getting was that low. We pull back, hold some kind of a resistance right in this previous support, right? And now, is there a chance that we create a lower high and retest that low? Yeah, right. Looks pretty likely if we get negative data. But right now, I could see us possibly kind of ranging in between here until tomorrow. Because again, this is the daily. How strong can this daily be when we don't have any US data coming out today? All right, so we could pretty much stay in the same point all day. But looking at the 4 hour, 4 hour did the same thing the daily did, where we come back up to visit the same area and rejected the same exact way. Strong bearish candles closing. So the last 4 hour candle closed a strong bearish. Could we be coming into that previous support and continuing down? Looking at the 1 hour. 1 hour's a little dodgy over here. I'll point out the trade that I took before. But what we did was we broke below our most recent support here. Strong close below. No bottom wick, right? This candle pushes all the way down into this area, same area over here, and we ended up rejecting. But then we get this lower high that was created, right? But now what you see is like consolidation in here, right? It's not the exact price action that you want as far as an hourly goes, right? Because especially like with down here bouncing off that area, everything's probably going to be bouncing off in between here. But looking at the 30-minute, I took this based on the 30-minute and the 15-minute. All right, create this lower high right over here. Perfect setup, right? Create that low. We pull back. You get these candles closing bearish, 30-minute close bearish, but this 30-minute passed the high of that candle already, which is not good. I took this based on the 15-minute with after this candle closed bearish with a wick to fill, I ended up putting my stop loss up here, took it right here, ended up grabbing, how many points was this? Something about like 22. Right, I didn't close all the way down here, but I closed around 22, 23 points. I got to check my MetaTrader, but close that. And then when this candle, that was the first position. Then the second position, I used dynamic risk. Second position, once it passed the high of that candle here in the 15-minute, that's where I just closed the full thing. Because I was in the middle of breaking down charts for you guys. Make sense? We got Dylan and Jamie just came in. What's up, guys?
Morning, morning.
Morning.
What's up?
How are you?
Doing good, brother. Doing good.
Good to hear, man.
Yeah,
No work this morning, huh?
What's up?
Well, I know you had work, Dylan, but
Yeah.
Jamie, you're not too busy this morning?
No, the natives haven't started tormenting me yet, so that's good. I get a little bit of reprieve right now. Hopefully, I'll start to get some of that back. But like I said, when you're managing a team, that's tough to do right now. So
Yeah. I feel you, man. Definitely understand that. So looking at US 30 right now, what again, I don't like being in trades when I'm breaking down the charts for you earlier in the morning. You guys know that already. But what I could have done here, again, I had a very safe stop loss, right? What I could have done was just close 50 right here. I just didn't have the time to do it because it was passing the high pretty quick. And I would have still been in this. But I'm okay with that because, again, what I'm doing is this is the whole process of getting used to a new pair is really just understanding the way it moves, watching it over and over and over again, understanding the setups, and then what's it called? Eventually executing lower risk, and then also really managing risk. And you're pretty much, when you're first trading a pair and you're really focusing on risk management too, you're probably gonna micromanage a lot of trades in the beginning, and then you become more and more in tune with it. Just like it's like when you're looking at the actual setups and getting used to the setups, you also got to get used to your risk management too. So again, that's something that I can journal where it's like, okay, if I wasn't breaking down the charts for you guys, I should have actually had this ready to just close 50 if I needed to. but I didn't. That's my mistake. But right here, I could have closed 50, safe stop loss up here as I knew, and now I could have still been in this. So let's go back up to the higher time frames again. So the 4 hour again closed a strong bearish. This one created a top wick, flip bearish. Healthy candle right now. Now the 1 hour looks a lot better, right? Where we got that bearish close, low created. This candle ended up coming all the way into that area, but respecting the high, now flipping bearish and continuing down. Right. So I could see this continuing down over here as I did, on these lower time frames again, get the clean move to the left. I wanted to secure right in this area. I wouldn't be securing just yet, but right over here, these candle bodies here in the 15-minute, that's where I'd be closing like 80% of that second position and just letting the rest run, mirroring that candle to the left. Make sense? Awesome. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. So right over here, yep, I'd be closing 80%. From the 15-minute entry right here, that'd be a 43-point gain, and now just leave that runner. Stop loss at its original spot, or at the entry. All right. So that's US 30s giving us a nice push right now. Back to the daily again. Yeah, daily's pushing hard from that area. This is actually what I said yesterday, right? Where yesterday, what was it? We were actually holding this candle. You see this wick right here? This candle started out holding a resistance right over here after that close, right? And this candle was starting to push down a lot. But then what we got was some optimism in the market. The Dow reversed, ended up closing bullish over here, right? And now what we're starting to get is that lower high being created right in this area. It looks like price wanted to come right back up into here, hold a resistance, and now we're starting to push down and potentially retest the low over here. But again, it all depends on the data tomorrow. Like I said, I could see price consolidating here in the daily, and the daily not going much farther than this. You need strong fundamentals to push you through a level like that. You need strong volume to push through a level like that. So I could see us bouncing off that area, possibly like bouncing off and closing somewhere up here, like a strong bearish candle with a wick to fill. And then what you could potentially do if you guys, are experimenting with swing trades and stuff like that, like Jamie, this would be perfect for you. Where actually, you know what? You may want to hold off until GDP comes out and trade the reaction to the news. But let's say that wasn't coming out and you got like a bearish candle closing like this on the daily, right? You place your stop loss up here and anticipate this whole move getting filled. And you'll be busy at work and stuff like that, and you could just monitor it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where we have you been experimenting on the higher time frames, like the 4 hour?
I have been, with the one and the four.
You take
Like
any
right
trades yet?
now,
I'm sorry, did you take any trades yet?
yeah, actually, I have US 30 running on the demo side right now with that push. So once it took out that, if you go to the 1 hour, I can show you. Once it took out that low on the 1 hour, I got in on that, the break of the low.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah, right as it took out that low,
Yep.
I got in. So entry is right here. Stop loss up here. Partials taken here with a TP set right here.
Not seeing anything.
Really?
Yeah. You get anyone else see anything?
Let me change my line to black.
No, I
then.
can't
No.
see it.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any annotations.
Let's try that again. Can you see that arrow?
No arrow. Not yet.
There's something seriously wrong here. Because I am annotating. I can see the arrow on my side.
That's weird. Try exiting out the annotation menu and then going back and doing it again.
All right, let's try that again.
I can't believe I missed this whole thing. That's why I hate trading while we're breaking charts down and everything. At least scalping.
Can you see that?
No. That's strange.
That's really strange.
Oh well. Well, Jamie,
Oh,
I think we have a few new members. I don't know if you've met them yet. Have you met Sydney?
Sydney, I have. Yep. I was
Okay.
messing with him about the background picture, making sure that wasn't a rainbow. And I found out he's a young
Uh,
buck, but he's old school like me.
that's
So
right. That's right.
we're good.
Have you met Sergey yet?
Nope, haven't met Sergey.
So Sergey is living in the UK, but he's from Ukraine. And then we have Lenny, who's up in Canada, Mayavi.
Morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Nice to meet you, brothers.
All right. So, yeah, that's a nice trade over here on US 30, Jamie. Nice target for that wick over here. Again,
Yeah.
I could see price coming right back into this area, and that'll be the limitation of your trade.
Yep, that's exactly where my TP is set. So
Yeah.
I'm just letting it run, see what she does. Like I said, I took it on the demo one because I'm still learning the
Yeah.
US 30, still getting used to it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see how the push works, especially now before 8 o'clock and then 9 and 10 o'clock before pre-New York. So just
Yeah.
getting used to it.
US 30 is definitely more of a stock exchange open pair.
Mhm.
Lenny, I see you taking notes over there. That's something you want to write down for US 30. It's just like if you're trading US 30, typically you want to, if you're gonna take a setup during pre-New York, a lot of that risk that you want to use for the day should be used more towards the later morning. When the stock exchange open, you're getting nice pushes at that point. Even in the afternoon on the US 30, around 1:30, 3:30, around those times, you get nice pushes. So I don't know if you're interested in trading this pair, but at some point, I'm sure you may be. A little off subject, Jamie, you would appreciate this. I've been back to boxing a little bit. Me and my wife boxed the other night. My lats are done. I tried doing
Really?
pull-ups last night. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Done.
I have to find a good boxing gym down here. One to get. I mean, we have some, but most of the ones that I've seen, they want to train you competitively, and I'm not trying to do competitive boxing. I'm
No.
just trying to do it for the workout.
Yeah, no, you would love this, but I have all like the equipment. I got the boxing gloves, hand wraps, I got focus pads, UFC gloves, stuff like that. Um, and we just hit focus pads together and we just work on speed. And
I like
that's an
that.
awesome workout.
Yeah, I like that.
We do 10 rounds of 1 minute and 30-second rest. So I think it equivalates to like 14, 15 minutes total.
Okay,
And we just blast music in the background and we just throw combos.
nice.
So if you and the queen want to do it, it's a great workout.
Absolutely.
See, 4 hour. Okay. 4 hour. Again, we got that strong close below that area. Top wick formed. We've already passed the previous 4 hour candle. Can we target this area over here? Again, don't forget that we have been creating higher lows here, but I think we're starting to reject that area already. Right? We come up to retest that trend line. There you go again. Coming up to retest that trend line, holding the resistance, clean move to the left. You do have about 27 pips in here. Looking at the 30-minute here, 30-minute, we've rejected this area twice already. So for me, and again, it's not like this candle on the bullish candle right there. It's not like that candle closed like this, right? If that was the case, I could see us taking an impulse entry once that top wick is formed, and then we pass the low of that candle, right? You could potentially take that. But that candle closed a strong bullish candle at that support with a wick to fill. So don't let that thing trap you. Wait for the close below this area. And if you get it, you do have clean candles over here coming down into that area and about 28 pips for a range. So that's GJ for you. Just hold on. It's looking more and more likely like this won't be a buy above that area. Like I said, that could be a possibility with the clean moves to the left. Again, you'd want to wait for the hold and then take that up because you'd be trading against the trend. But if we do hold that support right there, this thing is coming up. Now gold, again, like I said, we're ranging right in this area, right? I didn't see price, potentially continuing down over here, especially with the way the 15-minute looked. And if you guys remember when we were just breaking this down before, This 15-minute was creating that top weight. After that closed and complete correction of this candle, this close, it looked like this candle was creating a top wick, flipping bearish and continuing down. I was telling you guys not to trade that. Do not do that, because you're going to get rejected by that area. You got to wait for the close below that area, and then potentially you could take this down. Right? No, you only got about 22 pips right there. So it's not really worth it on gold, especially with spread and the amount of pips that you're looking to get on gold. It's just not worth it. You're really aiming to get 20 to 25 pips on gold, not like GJ where you're aiming to get like 10, 15. All right. Back to US 30. So US 30 is bouncing off that area. Like I said, that would have been a great spot to secure something right at the candle body lows here in the 15-minute and the 30-minute, right in this area. Again, we don't have data coming out for the US. So I don't see price going much farther than maybe this area right here. But I would say you got about 17 minutes left until this 1 hour candle closes. I could see the next one creating that top wick. Let's say we close right there and continuing right back down, but then bouncing off here. All right. So this is going to be a really good day for breakdowns. I'm going to have you guys break a few down. We're going to focus on speed and efficiency. It's just like, all right, this is my level. This is my level. This is my level. Okay. It's going to get you more and more confident. Before we do that, I'm just going to use the bathroom real quick, and then we will be right back. Anybody want to go first?
I'll have a go.
Savage. Love it. All right. So Charlie's up first. Who's on deck?
Definitely me.
Love
Let's
it.
go.
Awesome. Let's get three in. Who else is going to be going? Anyone? Yeah, Sydney can speak.
Yeah, and my annotation isn't working, so
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man.
yeah. So I'll be ready for the next one.
Lenny, you think you're ready to break a chart down?
Not yet.
Not yet.
on it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll hop on that first Zoom, and then we'll break them down from there.
Yeah, I just don't get how to break it down from the monthly.
Okay,
I'm still learning.
that's what I'll help you with. Sharjil, you wanna break some down for us, Sergey?
I'll go.
Awesome. All right, we got three today. So Charlie, Dylan, Sharjil. All right, I'll be right back. All right. All right. Charlie, what would you like to do, buddy?
Surprise me.
US oil.
All right, okay, let's go for it.
Do it, man. Like I said, just
You read my
focus on
mind.
what's up, Fair?
You read my mind. I was literally thinking, toss them in oil.
That's awesome. Listen, I know it seems like probably daunting, it's a commodity, all that stuff, but it's literally the same thing. I could pull up Apple stock and you could break it down. Just have one, have
Right.
confidence in yourself, and two, it's all about speed and efficiency. It's just like, where's my most recent levels? Okay, I'll help you out right now. Here, all right, we
Mhm.
react to that area. Okay, where's our next? Okay, it's here. Right? And then it's like, give me the weekly. Just be confident.
Sure. Let's hope my annotation works.
Yeah, maybe it's my
Did that
Zoom.
work? How'd that work?
Nothing.
Really?
What the hell? Hold on, let me see.
It must be a setting on your end.
Yeah, but it's not like I changed anything. Okay, so I just disabled annotation for others, enable annotation. Try that again.
Okay.
Nothing?
Anything?
No.
I
Nope.
just drew a zone in where you did.
Might be my
Oh, see, it's not us. Ah,
yeah, it's not you, Jamie. It's not my
Hmm.
Zoom. All right, just give me price points and then I'll do it. And this will
Yeah,
force you guys to focus on the price too, which is something I want you guys to be doing anyway.
yeah, that's something I don't do enough at all. All right, so about 115.00.
115?
Between I
Nice. Okay.
want a zone there, please.
There you go.
And
That'll give you more
Kind of.
prices.
kind of hanging around the most recent support at 80.08. The
Want to mark
current price.
80 off?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you could, yeah.
All right.
And below it at 6400 or 65.
Nice.
Yeah. If you could go down to the weekly, please.
Sure. How about your most recent resistance? Oh,
Oh yeah, let's have that as well.
somewhere over here.
So 85-ish.
85-ish. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're drawing it on the in the wicks.
Yeah, just the wicks because
If the wicks are long like that, is it better? Yeah. Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, if you got these two
Okay,
wicks,
cool.
they call them like tweezer tops almost, but these are longer than tweezer tops. Typically you're gonna have a resistance up here if you understand the breakdown of times, time frames, and all that.
Okay,
So,
got it.
all right, looking at the weekly, yeah, see that.
Okay, if you could move the top zone up.
Right there.
Oh, the one above that, yeah, but that one too. Oh,
This one?
yeah. Did a load of squares just appear on your
No,
screen?
no. Can you see mine
Oh,
right
that's
here?
weird. I've got a load of. It's like every square that's been drawn in the last 15 minutes has just appeared on my screen.
yeah, I can actually see my arrows and I can see Charlie's arrows now and the
Wow.
square sitting in the top.
Can you see this square that I just drew?
Yeah.
Huh. That's strange. You want me to clear them all up?
Yeah, if you could clear them all up.
Tell me if that
Might have to
erases.
redraw the zone.
See if you could draw a zone right now.
Yeah. Oh, I've just cleared mine.
Yeah, I just cleared it. Let's see if you could draw a new one.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
No.
Steph, can you see mine?
No, I can't. I can't see anybody's.
Yeah, I think Zoom might be having some issues.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah,
Zoom.
maybe it's Zoom.
I
Maybe
would
we're due
restart
an
it.
update or something.
I would
Maybe an
restart it, but
update's come out.
yeah, we're recording, so I can't
Yeah.
exactly do that. All right,
All
so
right.
let's continue with the
Just
price
carry.
points.
Sure. Yeah, if you could neaten up that bottom one up to 70 around, yeah, nice. Um,
And what do you see happening here in the last few weeks?
well, we're in a range. Um, lots well consolidation, right?
Yep. And then what
We
happened
just
last
broke.
week?
We broke out, but with a relatively strong bullish, and now we're retesting back into that range
Yep, potentially.
currently. Yeah,
All right, good job. All right, so daily.
yes, please.
All right, nice and simple.
Yeah, if we could have another zone around 8,200.
Nice. And then for that, when you're just mentioning exchange rate and stuff like that, this isn't like gold and stuff like that. It's like this is just $82. Right? It's $82 a barrel
Okay,
for
right.
oil. All right. Now what are you looking at?
With this most recent support here above what 73 around $73, would you neaten up that zone or would you just leave that?
I would probably just leave that, especially because
Yeah.
this is the daily, but you do have a most recent
Oh
support.
yeah, and then daily still. Yeah, if you could draw in that little zone of the most recent support as well.
There you go. So the way I look at
Um,
this, just to help you out, is if I look at the weekly is interesting because we did close through those wicks, right, with that bullish candle, right? But
Mhm.
we are still below these wicks over here, and then on the daily, you see that we're still rejecting that area. But what I could see happening is the fact that we're holding this resistance, but we're creating a higher low over here and higher lows, and the fact that we closed above on the weekly, right, but not on the daily. That means that maybe we could get this deeper pullback into the range and then later on continue up.
Okay, makes sense.
Sure. All right. So if we do break that resistance, where are we heading?
We're heading, got potentially good moves up to around 80, potentially 87, $89 a barrel,
Mm-hmm.
possibly even higher, up to 90.
Oh yeah. But being that this is the
But I
daily,
guess that,
that's a strong resistance on the lower time frames.
oh, daily, yeah, yeah. All right, shall we head down to
Yes, sir.
4 hour, please?
All right. What is Charlie saying?
If you could neaten the most recent two zones up, yeah.
So put that right there.
Yeah.
And then where's your target if we break this 82.63?
I would bring that down to 85 now, I guess.
Beautiful.
That's quite a strong level because looking left, there's more going on there.
Clean move right there.
So what's a pip on this scale then? Is it
On US oil, that's a good question. Let me see. Because I don't trade oil. I think it's points just like the indices
points?
with so it's probably like 65 points right there.
Yeah.
Um
So looking at those candles, that's plenty for that's quite a big range.
I don't know. You know what? That's a good question. I'm gonna look that up for you. I'll figure that out after the stream.
So we're at a support resistance zone currently around
Yes.
$80.
We'll move that down for you.
Yeah, it's really annoying having no annotation.
You guys got it easier today with no annotation. All right. Again, most recent support resistance.
Okay, yeah, so 80 and about around, well, it's quite tiny, right?
I can do this for you so that you can
Yeah, 80, 40.
40, how about
most
80,
recent
60?
resistance. Yeah, 80, 60, top of the wicks.
Awesome. And then where is price bouncing off? We created that low right here. Then we retested that low. And now this candle is currently bullish. What could we possibly be bouncing off here?
What the value 79,
Yeah.
40 is where we're bouncing off roughly. But is that a more significant one looking left?
So I'm just looking at this right here. Get that previous support
Okay,
over here.
all right. Just
Being that that's the
recent
4
data.
hour, this is a support in the lower time frames. Now, before we keep going with US oil, let's just check out our pairs for a second.
Okay.
So yeah, look at this trend line that we're respecting now on the 4 hour on GJ, right? The 4 hour ended up flipping bullish. This is what I was saying. Just be careful in this area, and then you got that support right over here too. 1 hour. 1 hour, we ended up getting that strong bullish candle close, right? Right at that area. Now, what we're getting here is, again, we're still holding that resistance. So you got to be careful of that because we have bounced from that area in the past. But right now, I do like this close for any kind of bulls. But what I would do is just wait for a support to be formed in here. And then you could take this thing up, right? And then mirror that move to the left. Because we're kind of like faking out this trend line so far. We don't know yet, but so far we're kind of faking that out because you could get faked out right there, and we could just end up consolidating in this area too. So just be aware of that. Gold right here ended up closing bullish here on the 1 hour. So again, respecting the trend line in an overall bullish trend anyway, right? So just be careful of that. But they did close. We have been coming down from this area too, so don't marry the bias. We have been coming down from the area, creating those impulsive bearish moves, lower highs as well. And now these candles are very weak, right? They close weak bodies, but they have rejected that area. So let's see on the lower time frame, the 30-minute. 30-minute did close bullish right in this area, bouncing off that trend line. And look at every time we bounce off the trend, right? So we're doing the same exact thing right now, and that could possibly happen. But we're not going to marry that yet until we get one of our setups possibly right here to continue up. Make sure that you're holding that as a support. Anytime you're trying to call a bottom like this, you're waiting for the most recent resistance to be broken and retested. Whenever you're calling a top, you're waiting for the most recent support to be broken and retested before you're trying to jump into a trade and call the market, try to fight the market. You're not your objective is to just, like Ted used to say, you just want to hop on the train and ride the banks. You don't have to be a hero. You don't have to change the market, which we all know you guys aren't doing. You're just trying to ride the wave. US 30. Now, this 30-minute candle ended up closing very weak and rejecting this for the first time. But what I could see is this candle at least getting filled at some point and then maybe rejecting again, right? Looking at the 15-minute ended up holding support right there at that previous support as well, right? So again, I can still see this thing continuing down, but I think this is the limitation of the day, 33,425. All right. Back to US oil. I think, what were we on? I think we were on the 1 hour. All right. So what do you
4
see
hour, I think.
on the 4 hour? Okay.
But I think we were about ready to go down to the 1 hour.
Yeah. So this looks like, well, we're forming this lower high, right? And we ended up just getting this strong close below the bodies.
Yep.
Right. So we know that this could potentially, since we're reacting like this to that area, that this could potentially be a range, and we kind of saw that on the 1 hour anyway. But what do you see on either side of these ranges, or either side of this range, as far as a potential move?
Yeah, got potential, quite some potentially nice moves up to
Right.
81.79.
100%.
Yeah,
Clean candles,
traffic.
right? And then obviously this would be calling tops. This is the kind of thing that you want to wait for. If you're going to call these tops up here, you're waiting for this level to be broken and retested, right? And now over here, again, you haven't changed market structure yet. You don't change market structure until you break this area. Then we're automatically now in a more of a bear market, right? But
Okay.
up here, there is still a chance to hold a higher low and continue up. Hold a higher low and continue up.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you wait for those retests to make sure that you're holding that resistance. So now, what are we looking for? Where's our safe trades?
Yeah, it's let me see if I can annotate now. Can you see that?
No.
Well, between these two zones, it's obviously trickier. It's quite choppy in there. If I knew how oil moved, I could potentially trade in there, but it's trickier. Anything above 80.60, as you said, in the higher time frame, looking for a break and retest to carry on up to green zone there, up to there, 82.12.
Job. And then anything below here?
Yeah, I'll put another green trade area down to about 78.
Yep. Perfect. Awesome. And now what you see here is a potential another lower high, rejected that area again with that candle. And now what did we just get? Nice bearish candle, right? This candle creating that top wick, flipping bearish over here. But now, is that a tradable range?
Well, the previous wicks rejected that support there. Previous support, so it's come down, rejected it. So I don't know, it just doesn't look great.
You're gonna
if I knew oil, it might be okay.
Probably not though. Like you might want to stay out of this whether you know it or not.
Yeah,
I would be very comfortable because like why this is where it gets very easy for traders. It's like, why not just wait for this?
Yeah.
You know, why not just wait for all that? Why try to force things? Because too many traders, I'm sure you guys have all been here. I've been here, where you try to force things in here, you end up going down a percentage or two, and then you get a nice move coming up, and then all of a sudden you're just trying to make back your loss. Get a nice move down, you're just trying to make up your loss, and now you're at break even. Just sit here, have the attitude of, if you're not giving me what I want to see, I'm not touching it. Right? Be like a high value female. Right? they want to they want men, that are men. And they have high standards for that. So that's how you got to look at the market.
Nice. Looks good.
Great job, man. So are you getting more and more confident with these? Like what's your feelings with the breakdowns and looking at charts?
Yeah, it's beginning to feel more natural.
Good.
Using price points was good practice because I don't do that enough.
100%.
I hardly do it, especially with GJs as high numbers. But yeah, no, that's cool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm learning every day.
Good. The price points is important because that's what banks are looking at. You know that all these institutions are like, this is where we want to bring price, so we might as well look at the same thing. But yeah, man, it's the more you do this, the more and more comfortable you're gonna get. No matter if you feel uncomfortable doing it in front of other people. Again, I've only brought the right people in here that are not gonna be judging you or laughing or anything like that. Like that's not the type of group we are. We're looking to get better and encourage each other and stuff like that. So again, the more you volunteer, the more comfortable you're gonna feel and again, like I know it goes kind of overlooked breaking down charts, but it can massively increase one's win rate if you're breaking down the right levels. If you got the wrong levels marked off, that's gonna fuck you up. You're gonna be losing trades and not knowing why. So even if all right, Sergio, even if you're breaking down charts pretty well, but still getting some of the wrong levels, you can at least increase your win rate by like 5-10%. And that's huge.
Yeah,
Imagine
makes all the
going from
difference.
40% to
Yeah.
50% or 50 to
Mhm.
60. It's a big deal.
Mhm.
So good job, buddy. I think we
Thanks
got
a lot.
Dylan next, right?
Yep.
Awesome. You got an idea of what pair you want? Just gonna check it
I'll
out.
do I'll do well, I did EJ the other day. Yeah, I mean it really doesn't matter to me. I'm just
Okay.
more or less doing the breakdown to learn, to practice my skills.
Okay.
Uh,
You want to
so
do Bitcoin?
I'll do Bitcoin, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. So I'm
Well, I
looking
just gotta
at
look at your screen, right, and tell you where I want stuff.
yes.
All
Yeah,
right,
we'll just break down the price points. Real quick, don't look.
all right,
There we go.
all right. On the monthly.
Wow, look at this. Getting a bounce.
All right, yeah. So let's start off with marking off the most recent support and resistance levels. So I'll see a resistance right around that 24,000 level.
Perfect.
Support right around, I believe, 16,000. Which can go really far back in time. Yeah.
Yep. And by really far back, you mean 2018?
Yeah, it seems really far back.
See, that's the
Shit, I
problem with
was
crypto. You don't have that much history on it.
yeah, like this is the first recession crypto's ever seen.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
Definitely been in the bear
interesting.
market.
Yeah. But yeah,
Just
from there,
a
yep, go ahead.
quick point too. Like if you look at the Dow US 30, think about this as the pre-big COVID highs, right? And what did we
Yeah.
say for months? That price on US 30 was going to come back down to those previous highs and potentially hold a support. And what did we see? A
Yep.
huge bounce on US 30 from those exact highs. So now could we be getting that same exact thing with Bitcoin here?
Yep.
So great job on here. Do you want to go to the weekly?
Yeah. All right. So we can adjust the resistance zone a little bit to incorporate that large bearish wick we see to the left.
Beautiful. I was
Yep.
wondering if you're going to see that.
I would do that. Um, I would look left a little bit to see if we can move that support down a little bit lower, but it really truthfully looks pretty decent to me.
Yeah, you got a previous
Yeah.
high over here.
Yep.
Look at that.
If you move over to the right just a little bit more. Yep. Okay. So I see another level right around 18,000 area, incorporating all these wicks. Yep, and that support.
Okay.
Um,
And then what is this over here now?
that's a range.
Well, yes, but what could this be um defined as?
Like, are you talking about
Potential starts with an F.
an F?
Fake out?
Yes.
It could be. We don't know yet, but could potentially be a nice fake out. All right. So you see the last 2 weekly candles extremely strong. What could be happening right now for the current weekly candle?
What could be happening?
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean by what could be happening?
Yeah, like where do you see price potentially going from here?
Okay. Well, I can also see that price is at another level.
Right here?
Yep.
Nice.
Which would be a resistance level for us currently. So depending on how candles close, we've seen one rejection of it back September-ish. Obviously, last week we rejected it. Currently, this week we rejected it, fighting the bullish bearish momentum,
Yep.
seeing where we're going. So yeah, basically right now we're just at a standstill point on the weekly, trying to decide our next move.
Okay. Now, being how bullish we are, is there an opportunity where we could be reacting to this level and then pulling back to a certain area before continuing up?
Yeah, I could definitely see that being so, especially with the monthly bouncing off the support that we created and clean traffic to the left if we were to break these resistance levels that we have marked off.
Yep. And what price point over here could you see that happening?
Could I see price pulling back to before breaking higher?
Yep.
I would really look around. Are you just looking in this black little zone you created over with prices, or are you
Yeah,
just
it's like multiple choice. Which price do you
well,
feel
okay, and within this in this box, I would pick about the 21,000.
Okay. That could be it.
It could be there. It could be 22.
There you go. Yep. Anywhere in these areas, you got an idea
yeah.
that price could pull back into, continue up, could come back here. It's just like multiple biases, understanding what price could potentially do. Could
For
also
sure.
just continue up, but we're halfway through the week and we're still a doji, so maybe not.
Yep.
But good job. All right, so daily. Zoom out a little bit for you.
Yeah, perfect.
Now we can adjust.
Yep. All right. Taking a look here. So it's starting to get a little choppy.
Mm.
We could move. Okay, so where price is now,
Mhm.
the blue zone we have right below, I would move that up to incorporate a most recent support, which would line up with previous resistance and support levels in the
Yep.
past.
Perfect. So we're just sitting in the range. Most recent support resistance.
Yep.
And once we break that, what do you have to the left of each side?
So with price rejecting the resistance that we have just below 23,200,
Mm.
if we get a close below, what is it, 22.4, obviously a break and retest, we have that clean traffic
Mhm.
to the left to retest our 21,000 level. However, we are on the daily time frame though, so we have to keep that in mind. If we were to break higher, obviously we're looking for that break and retest with confirmation that we're going to push higher. We have all this clean bearish traffic, but those wicks are large. That's the only thing that really stands out to me that would like contradict my mindset, I guess.
Okay. What wicks are large? These?
Yes, those ones.
All right.
So I guess it would all matter how they look on the lower time frames.
Yeah,
I gotta
100%.
Find a good target.
Yeah, on the daily, these are wicks. On the 30-minute, that's a resistance.
Yep.
You know, but I like the fact that like you guys aren't entertaining right now, and it's all you guys like pointing out price points. Like you guys, again, our values. We're talking about professional traders, and you guys becoming that. You guys sound more professional when you're talking about price points and certain exchange rates and stuff like that. I like that.
Yeah, and for me, honestly, I feel like that's a big area that I need to focus on and that I struggle with. So I feel like it's helping me right now.
100%. Yeah, I like it.
So
Maybe we'll do this more often. All right. So any adjustments?
So I like the support zone where it is. The resistance zone, we could move it higher. You know, we could potentially see, we could have held it where it was and saw those two candles, like the bullish candle that filled the wick and then instantly flipped bearish. We could have saw that as a fake out with the zone where it was previously.
Could, but you're probably not. You know, we'll see. But actually,
either way, you're still not going to want to take a trade.
Yeah.
In this area, if
Yeah.
you base it off the 4 hour.
100%. So looking at the 1 hour. All right. What would you need to see to take anything in here?
Inside here. Okay.
And also point out what happened last time we bounced off 22,500.
So what happened? We had a large wick rejection. We formed support and we tried pushing higher.
Yeah, I was talking more so like over here. Like, how can you use this move and this move over here to anticipate what could possibly happen over here?
How could I use that move?
Want me to help you?
I do.
Okay. So we ended up getting a nice bounce off this area, right? Then we ended up getting a nice push. Then price consolidated and we got another push out of that. Then price became wacky. We really started to range after that because you're in this whole area right there. But now we bounce off this area exactly the same way as we did right over here. Hard bounce. We retested that area once again, right? We're kind of holding a support right over here. But could we end up getting like some kind of a consolidation here before we have particularly a fairly clean move over here to the left?
Yeah, I understand now.
Yeah, right. So now what are you looking for if you were to take a buy?
Okay, so if I'm going to take a buy, to me, this is really easy. I'm going to set a zone right around 22,800.
Okay. Excuse me. Nice.
Yep. So I'm gonna wait for a break and retest above that zone and target previous highs, which would be, you know, yeah, right around there.
23,000?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Nice. Beautiful. Now the 30-minute. We'll just bring that down a little bit for you.
Yeah, so on the 30-minute, we can see that, you know, bouncing off, creating that support that we just talked about on the hourly. We then retested the resistance level, are holding that support that you pointed out. You know, now we are just consolidating, waiting to really break out.
Yeah. Yeah, what's one clue that price could be bouncing off this area and continuing up? What are you seeing over here?
The minor level of support that it formed right after, especially after that wick rejection. That's basically like the second time.
Yeah, when you want to see like a double top, you typically want that second or double bottom. You typically want to see that second bottom being higher than the previous low. That's one hint that could be a double bottom, right? And it's almost like the I think they call it a triangle. Don't take my word for it, but where you have the same exact resistance, but then higher lows. Typically, price breaks out from there.
Yeah. So now on the 30-minute, could we see price come down and retest that support again, that minor level of support before pushing higher and trying to break that resistance?
Maybe. Do you want me to adjust the support?
Oh, I like the support where it is.
Okay.
I guess we could draw like a smaller zone just on that minor support level.
What you could do is split. So this could potentially go like right here, right? And
Yeah.
then once you close below this level, don't just take an impulse entry into that area. Wait for it to close. And then you got this whole area right here that price
Yep.
can mirror. And then once you get that, you got a clean move coming down,
Yeah. Big move too.
right?
Yeah.
100%. And now you're starting to see the lower highs here. And price now, you're getting the strong bullish candle close, then a lot weaker candle, lower high, possibly passing the low, could be coming back down into this area. And if you break that, this is no longer like that double top or double bottom that could continue up. It's more so, okay, I'm looking for that to hold a resistance, at least a top wick rejection, and retest 20. Excuse me, 22,000 530.
Yeah.
Or no, 22,000 370. Excuse me. Down here. I was looking up here. But great job, man.
Yeah. One thing I like to say is like I'm realizing like as you're doing the top-down analysis, and like this is obvious, but it alters your perception. I think your zones and are larger, obviously, on the monthly time frame, and like your perspective is much larger, and then you're zooming in on the lower time frames. Like for me, I feel like I struggle. Like like when you took over and I couldn't really explain the answer the way you were looking for, and then you drew with those zones,
Yeah.
the black squares, like very small. Like I have a hard time transitioning to smaller areas on the lower time frames.
Okay. That
So
makes sense.
yeah, I
And
don't know like if that's the best way to explain it, but
no, I understand that. Well, how do you get better at that?
keep doing these breakdowns and explaining them the way that I did, really, and
100%.
backtesting. Just
Yeah, man. I
keep going at
want like
it.
a big sign for me for you guys, like to see how eager you guys are to get better. Is like when I ask you guys to break down the chart, you're just like, let me go. All right, like you want to do it every single day with me. Eventually, in the next 2 weeks, you guys are gonna just be breaking down charts the way I've been.
Yeah.
And like one thing that you were just saying about the monthly and the lower time frames, that Lenny was talking about before, how you struggle on the monthly. It's just keep this in mind. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Right? All you're doing is just going monthly. Okay, these are the same levels I would be drawing on the 30-minute, right? But now it's just on the monthly and there's less candles. Now let me go to the weekly. Okay, let me just adjust that to our most recent support resistance. Are those wicks on the monthly now candles on the weekly and the daily? Yeah, okay, let me just adjust them. It's the same exact thing. That's why if you're trading basic price action, not using any indicators, anything like that, trading on the monthly is the same exact thing as trading on the 30-minute. Only difference is time.
Yeah.
Only difference is like how much data is in each candle compared to like there's a lot more time. Like in a 1-minute candle, there's only 60 seconds of data. In a 30-minute candle, there's 30 minutes of data, and banks, institutions, people, sentiment, all getting an idea of where price should be going. It's you have more time in between that, and then obviously more time to hold a trade. You gotta be more patient on those higher time frames. But the candles move the same way, right? They might not move as far as you know giving you wick rejections, then all of a sudden just taking off. That's not going to happen on the monthly. But what is going to happen is the same exact setups. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So great job, man. Like I said, just keep volunteering, keep wanting to be the first one to break charts down, and you're gonna end up being really good, and people are gonna start respecting you for it because they're gonna be like, damn, you really did get a lot better. Like I'm
Yeah,
sure there's a couple
definitely.
people. I'm sure there's a couple people in here that have watched Charlie break down a few charts, and you just seem more confident now, right? And you're only at the beginning too. You're gonna get even more confident in the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
See, like here's a good example. Probably like Sharjil's going next. Watch how much better Sharjil is at breaking down charts than he probably was when he first came in.
Mm-hmm.
Ready to roll, Sharjil?
Yeah, it's definitely closing above on GJ right now.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at this too. The fact that this candle closed the way it did, I love this, right? That was a nice bottom wick, passing the high of the previous candle. Over here, if you put your stop loss below there, would it be risky? Absolutely. But this is more of a advanced kind of an entry. it's just grabbing your 1-to-1 right here. And you would have been at 1-to-1 up here. And again, is that worth taking? Maybe not, right? Maybe you want to wait for price to hold the support, right? Make sure that we hold that support. We're not just going to fake out and close below here and continue right back down, which could always happen, right? Make sure that we hold the support right here, and then you could take this thing up. And that's probably what I'll be doing for my second trade today. All right. Let's look at gold real quick again. Gold still holding that resistance, really just kind of ranging, right? That candle closed over here like a doji, but above the area. And again, past the low of the previous bullish candle, but that previous bullish candle was a strong bullish candle. We ended up rejecting that area again and closing bullish above here. So what's going to end up happening? You have no idea. We have no idea. Like I would just adjust that right there. I need to close above there if I'm going to take anything up. Yeah, look at that. That's all just one big range. Like I said, we don't have data coming out for gold right here. So again, if we don't have data over here, are you guys going to take an impulse entry continuing up here? Or are you just going to wait for this pullback? Price holds that support and doesn't fake you out. And then you could take this thing up potentially into here. 1930. Now we're getting into that 20th century over here. All these awesome. Maybe I'm just like a history nerd, but I just love when gold gets into these years. Also the 1800s too. It's cool. All right, Sergio.
Yep.
US 30 still continuing down. What pair would you like to break down, buddy?
I want a choppy pair.
Choppy pair. Okay. All right. Sergio wants to challenge. Most likely that will be. Let's go Euro USD.
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. Monthly. Speed and efficiency.
Just one sec. Okay. Can you still not see my annotations?
I cannot. We're gonna have to go price.
So, I'll put support below 1,000, just below it on the monthly.
So right here?
Yes, please.
Okay. So like 97 cents.
Yeah.
All right.
You have a resistance, as if you can see that previous support to the left.
Yep. Okay.
I'll mark that up as a resistance.
108.
Yeah, just a bit more up.
Okay. Right there?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it. Okay.
Yeah. Weekly.
Okay, for the weekly, I'd like to mark off this level. I think it's just below 5,000.
5,000?
5,000.
105?
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, exchange rate. This is $1.05, $1.08. You know, just you could call it out like that. So you want to move this right over here? You said.
No, I want to leave that resistance up there, but I want to mark up
Okay.
this.
So you want that right there?
Yeah, I want to mark
Okay.
up this.
And then 105 right here. Okay.
Yeah, right then. Yeah, that's perfect. And could we move down to the daily?
Sure.
This resistance level, I like to thin it out a little
Okay.
bit.
Right here.
Yep. And as you can see, we've closed above $1 and 8 cents, is it? 8.5 closed above that level.
Want to mark that off?
Yeah, it was a previous resistance, is now looking like it could hold support over there.
Yep, definitely is holding support right now. All right, where's your target once we break 109?
It's my first target would probably be 1.1, 100.
Right here?
No, just a bit more up.
Right here?
Probably there. Yeah.
Okay. So if it was me, I'd probably, that would definitely be maybe a take profit. But you get this clean move coming right up to 101 or 111.5, somewhere around here. 111.6. Yeah, like right in that area. That's where price is gonna want to come up into. Make sense?
Yeah.
Clean move. So looking at the 4 hour now. Now what are you starting to see?
Yeah, so what I see now is we're obviously forming like some kind of double top at this resistance. And it's kind of like a lower high as well.
Yep. Want to adjust that?
Yeah. And our most recent support right now is where your thing.
Right
Yeah,
here?
right. Yeah, but I'd just like to move it a little bit more down, obviously, because of the wicks.
Okay. Right in there.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Awesome. All right. So looking at the 1 hour.
Yeah, so as you can see, we've kind of we've faked out this level, and we could even move it down, just obviously to match that support, and we had that previous resistance over there as well. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
And we've got a support, the most recent support right here on the hourly, near current price action. Yeah,
Okay.
right there.
Okay.
And I'd like to mark up a resistance.
What price?
880. No,
Okay.
8,800.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
All right. So we're rejecting that 30-minute. What are you seeing here?
I've seen this setup before where we close weak bearish but with a huge rejection wick, and the next candle creates a top wick and just comes down to fill this whole range out.
Do we have enough range?
What do you usually look for on Euro USD? Is it around 20 pips?
I mean, this one moves a little bit slower, but yeah, I would look for, because think about it with any pair. Like if you're on for a minimum scalp, you're trying to catch 10 pips. Like that's what we're looking to catch pretty much daily anyway. But if you only have a 14 pip zone, that's not going to be big enough for me.
Yeah.
All right, if 14 pip zone, maybe you catch 7 realistically. But like for your USD or whatever pair, it doesn't matter. If you got a 20 pip zone, realistically you could probably catch 10, maybe 15.
Possibly. What about the range below it? How much pips is that?
It's a little bit smaller, but cleaner range. Actually, no, you get about 17, 18 pips. So maybe that would work out.
Yeah.
Clean move. What I would do is just definitely at least wait for a bottom wick or a close below and a top wick rejection to take this thing down, because we faked this area out right here and multiple passes through it, right? But never ended up staying below. So like you got the fake out here, huge fake out here, and all these wicks. I would want to wait for, if you can hold a resistance right there, right? This is definitely coming down. And most likely continuing right through that area, which would be nice. But right now we're kind of holding a support here. Right. I think there were a few things I wanted to point out. Let's go back to the higher time frames. Yeah, we have like some kind of a support right in here. Like you could drag that over to the left.
Yeah.
108.5. We're still holding a support. We did multiple times, and right now we're bouncing off that area. I think it was maybe the weekly. Yeah, the weekly over here, I would have just probably marked this off like somewhere down there. Like that's a key area. This is all just kind of like a range. But coming into here, you get that wick, you get that previous resistance over there. Looking at the daily. Now the daily, what I would do is just move this a little bit up to all these rejections here to the left. Then if you want to mark this off, you can. But all those rejections, then you get that previous support resistance, and now that's your current support right here. So that's obviously a very key level that price could very well come down into. Now we have been creating higher lows on Euro USD for quite some time now, since November, right? Just higher lows, higher highs. Could be stalling out over here with some short-term strength in the US dollar, right? But eventually it could just pull back anywhere to continue up. 4 hour, again, just kind of ranging over here. We keep rejecting that area. So clean move to the left. Once we break that area, or more so like break this whole area right there, you get this move coming up into here. So this whole area is basically encompassed by multiple rejections. You just want to be careful once you come above like 109 over here and you think like you got like a breakout over here. At any point in here, you could end up rejecting. Right?
Yeah.
Anywhere in this area you could reject. So once you clear that area, you have a clean move to the left for 109.8.
Yeah.
1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour is kind of just ranging in here. Really coming down from the area, getting some short-term strength in the dollar. Could be rejecting this area too. See if that area kind of holds a support, because we've rejected it multiple times. But we'll see. But good job, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So now we're coming close. Let's see the GJ over here. See that? We're coming back into this range. I'm not saying that it's going to be a fake out, right? We haven't passed below that candle yet. Maybe we end up rejecting that area and holding support and possibly continuing back up. That's what I want to see. I want to see this hold support. If it can't, this might be a fake out, and then this might continue right back down. I'm not saying take that yet, but we'll see. Gold over here, again, rejecting that area. I wouldn't touch gold. Gold is in a higher time frame range, and you're also like really in the middle of this whole area right there. Previous resistance, support, and now we're coming right into that area. Selling into that is going to be dangerous against the trend. I'd much rather take a buy off of that area to continue up, but we'll see what we end up getting. US 30, I'm kind of kicking myself because this was a I mean, I managed my risk right based on like what I typically do. But again, I had a safe enough stop loss where I could have just closed 50 right here and then just let the rest run. But is what it is. Yeah, look at that. See how the 30-minute, and this typically happens with US 30 too. If you remember my trade from I think 2 weeks ago, where we got that big pullback on US 30 and then prices continued down, I grabbed a ton of pips. But right over here, you know, I have my stop loss right up there. I would have been safe. That's why I put it up there. But if I wasn't breaking charts then, that would have been close 50, and this would have been I would have still been in this as the runner coming down into here. Any questions, guys? You guys all good?
Yeah, all good for now, thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's keep the New York session active. Let me know if you guys are taking anything. I most certainly will with you guys with maybe GJ if we hold that support, or I don't think I'll be touching gold, but maybe US 30. I doubt it. I think this is the move of the morning. But you know, if we get something on GJ, I'll most certainly be taking it. But again, have that attitude. It's got to present something to me that I like, and if it doesn't, then I'm staying out. All right, guys, just practice that patience. Again, focus on your daily must today. Get all those done before any kind of entertainment or anything like that. Just focus on speed and getting these things done. Think about your goals and what you want to accomplish. And those are the things that, you got to keep your mind on. Just keep downloading your brain with healthy things. Working out. It's got to be listening to audiobooks, stuff like that, because you just got to have that one speed and it's got to be go, because you guys are running out of time. You have no idea what's going to happen with, let's say, your grandparents or anything like that. You want them to see you successful, right? You want your parents to see you successful. Like the clock's ticking, and that doesn't mean forcing any trades or anything like that, but it means outworking yourself from yesterday and just focusing on that, getting that check mark in on the accountability sheet and knowing that you did your job. You control what you can control. All right, guys. Awesome. Guys, have a great
good.
day.
Thanks very much.
Have a great day.
bro.
Good luck in the market, and let me know what you guys are thinking and taking, and we'll discuss it in the chat.
Am I doing our
Still
back testing
back testing later?
Oh yes, yep. And I'll see you at 1 o'clock for back testing. We're starting a new account, so
one.
that'll be fun.
All right, see you later, man.
See you later.
All right, boys.